This is the Professional Edge. My name's Sean Todd, tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. Host here on the Professional Edge. I appreciate your time and tuning in. And this segment, we're going to be talking about cats and dogs. And we are not going to be talking about the veterinary care or the pet store. We're talking about your individual situation where it's just cats and dogs, meaning if you have that old 401k that you left at the previous employer and you've been away from that employer for 4, 5, 6, maybe even 10 years, and you know who I'm speaking of, you just have not really paid attention. It's been over there. You've not looked at the allocation, and you've stopped opening any envelopes, and now they've all went to e-delivery on your statements. So you don't even open those up, or you look at it, look at a balance, and that's it. Well, that's a cat and dog, and what you don't look at on a regular and consistent basis doesn't really get much attention, and therefore you're probably not allocating those funds correctly, and they're just sort of out there as a cat and dog. It's in the back of your mind, but you could probably be more efficient on making, for example, number one, taking action and doing a self-directed IRA, contacting that old company and rolling that over into a self-directed IRA, and now actually take a look at it and actually manage that investment portfolio to get a more optimal return. So if that's one of your cats and dogs that you have, and you know who I'm speaking to, that you have also some other IRA accounts. You may have started one at, an E-Trade account, or you started one at Vanguard or any other company, and you have not really paid attention to it. Well, do you need to contribute to it? You haven't contributed to it, and it's just sitting there. So you have all these multiple accounts. There is no coordinated plan, no coordinated professional advice to help you manage those assets. So as a listener here on the Professional Edge, if that's you, I can tell you from experience working with our clients that there's a lot of benefit of consolidating these cats and dogs, these ancillary accounts. They may have $6,000. They may have, $43,000 in an old 401k. What do we do with it? It's a hassle to get things over, but we help our clients move those into one pool of assets. And then that way we can actually help them, assist them in providing our professional counsel and guidance. And estate management counselors is an SEC registered investment advisory company, meaning we have a fiduciary duty to act in our clients' best interests at all times. We get paid for our counsel and advice, not on selling products or commissions therein. So if that's of interest to you, do give our office a call at 404-250-9798. That number again, 404-250-9798. And the first consultation is complimentary. If you're not in the great metro Atlanta area or down in Columbus, then we can always hop on a Zoom call and say, okay, I have, I'm guilty. I have, 6 different accounts. I don't look at the statements. That's okay. Let's start moving forward. And as a New Year's resolution, you may have said, hey, you know what? I want to get better control of my finances and see what is going on to make sure I'm on track for that safe and secure retirement. So again, that number, 404-250-9798. That number again, 404-250-9798. So what's another cat and dog that you may have? Well, I may say that another cat and dog is that you have acquired a condominium down there on the Panhandle, and you were starting to use it personally only, and now you've sort of said, hey, you know what, we don't use it that much. We should put it into the rental pool and start collecting rents on that. And you've been doing this for, let's say, 3, 4, 5 years, and the condo is still in your personal name. Well, here's the first thing as a tax attorney I want to say to you is you have now exposed your personal residence, your personal assets to the potential claims of a tenant who gets hurt at that condo. And you say, well, I have insurance for that. Well, when was the last time you looked at your policy limits? Because if something tragic happens to a tenant, they are definitely going to blame you, the landlord, on not repairing something properly. You should have fixed that railing that they leaned against and fell 6 stories to their unfortunate passing. Well, they are going to come after you, and a litigation attorney is going to press for more than the policy limits on that liability policy. So ask yourself that cats and dogs question. Yeah, I got that rental property. I know I should have protected it. It's still in our individual names. It's not in any entity for asset protection purposes. And yes, we should have gotten that done, or we need to get that done. We just have not done that process. Well, I can tell you, getting that done, and then if that lawsuit ever gets filed, you have peace of mind, because guess what? Once the lawsuit is filed, or once you are aware of the incident, you cannot form the liability protection, throw that condo in there, and protect your other assets, which means the cat got out of the bag. So before the cat gets out of the bag, let's go ahead and be proactive and say, hey, let's put this in a proper vehicle, because we are actually being landlords. We're not just, hubbub renting it to friends and family, but we are actively operating as a real estate entity. So therefore, treat it as such, because if you don't, then the litigation attorney is going to go right through to your personal assets as well. So that's a wake-up call to you as a listener here on the Professional Edge. If you have the condo or other rental property, it doesn't have to be on the panhandle, you have other rental properties, a duplex, a quadplex, whatever it is, you got grandma's house and you didn't want to sell it, now you're renting it, so now you're a landlord, and the same thing applies to you. These rental properties have potential exposure from litigation, from your tenant suing you. So step back, make the call, 404-250-9798. That number again, 404-250-9798. Set a time up and say, hey, I need to get this in a liability protection vehicle. Therefore, if something happens, the worst case scenario is the policy limits are reached and you deed over the condo, but all your other personal property is protected 100%. So that right there is peace of mind. This cats and dogs that you've been thinking about getting done, that you have procrastinated on getting done. So let's put this cat in the right vehicle and not have it go scattered around. And let's be proactive. And therefore, if you are ever a defendant in a personal injury suit, you can say, whew, thank goodness. I listened to the Professional Edge. I took proactive action. I got my liability protection there. I'm good. I'm not sweating bullets. My house is protected. My other investments are protected. My hunting land's protected. And this, as I just said, hunting land. How many of you as a listener have hunting property that you either A, only go on, or your friends go on? Well, if you rent some hunting rights, the same thing applies to you. A tragic accident happens. Guess what? They're going to go back to you, the owner of the property, and they're going to say, wow, you did not do your proper screening on who you gave licenses to hunt on this property. You allowed a non-experienced hunter on your land, and therefore you are the negligent party for the wrongful death of my other friend, the hunter. Wow. Okay, that's a bad afternoon. But I can tell you, as a litigation attorney, they will make that argument against you. you didn't do your due diligence as the owner of that hunting property. So that right there is the impetus to get things in order, get these stray cats and dogs in order, and protect your other assets. You work too hard not to protect these assets. So again, have the conversation, understand what structure it is. If you structure it properly, then we don't have any additional tax filings. Being a tax attorney and a CPA, I know how to structure this so you don't have to get a partnership return or an S corporation return. We form the right entity. Therefore, all you got to do is continue to file your 1040 tax return. Don't have this additional expense of filing a separate entity return. So give our office a call at 404-250-9798. That number again, 404-250-9798. That's the cats and dogs on the liability protection that you have exposure to. That should be a wake-up call right there. Now, when we come back on the next section, we're going to continue with cats and dogs. But the one thing I want to give you as a listener here in the Professional Edge is the opportunity to put things together, get your assets working in the right way, protect your liability, and also minimize your tax on your payment to the Internal Revenue Service. That we offer as a listener, EMC The Bundle. That is Echo Mary Charlie, thebundle.com. And you can go there and see exactly how this all gets coordinated. Being a tax attorney, a CPA, and a certified financial planner, your estate plan should work together with your tax plan, which also should be coordinated with your portfolio. Thanks for listening through The Professional Edge. My name's Sean Todd, host here on The Professional Edge.
With today's financial markets, are you getting the personal and professional attention you and your money deserve? Clients of estate management counselors benefit from having one set of professionals advise them on their tax, estate planning, and investment advice. We call that the Professional Edge. Sean Todd is a tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. With over 15 years' experience, he welcomes the opportunity to assist you in preparing for retirement, implement effective tax planning strategies, and to help you properly plan your estate. His radio show, The Professional Edge, is aired weekly on Sundays at 9 a.m. If you're interested in meeting with Sean, call his office at 877-654-9798. That's 877-654-9798. Do you want to feel more confident about making the right investment, tax, and estate planning decisions? Today, these decisions are more complex than ever. Have you thought about working with a professional advisor and not sure who to turn to? Not sure what qualifies one to be an advisor? Sean Todd is more than qualified as a tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. Sean is with Estate Management Counselors. Estate Management Counselors operates as an independent fee-only investment advisory firm. They're dedicated to gaining a personal understanding of their clients' objectives and implementing professional counsel and advice to achieve those objectives. So take a second to talk with Sean Todd to learn how you can benefit from their multidisciplinary practice where they coordinate their clients' legal, tax, and investment strategies into one comprehensive and integrated plan to enhance and protect their clients' financial security. You can reach Estate Management Counselors and speak with Sean Todd by calling 1-877-654-9798. That's 1-877-654-9798.